Their pitching really helps that thought a lot. I really believe winning tonight, getting back to Cleveland's going to really totally flip the vibe on them there. And then you got Jake and Kyle ready to roll on regular rest. So this, obviously, we got to win, and we have to have a nice one-game winning streak starting tonight. So we do that. Lester does it. We go back over there. Schwarber becomes pertinent again in the lineup, so things can change quickly.
When you talk to your offense, if you do even, I know you're not big on meetings, but anything you say to your offensive guys or to Maley and the hitting coach about what's going on?
No, we've talked. Johnny and I have talked. Johnny takes the message to the players. I've talked to a couple guys individually, but that's how we do it all year long. We've been pretty successful. The biggest thing is, as you know, you have to hit the breaking ball strike. If you're going to hit a breaking ball, you still want to hit the fastball. We need to lay off the pitch outside the zone and force them back in. We haven't done that. Seen a lot of first pitch strike fastball, first pitch strike curveball, and then after that I don't see strikes, and we're helping them out. So we have to be able to recognize the curveball that starts out at you, or the slider, that's the one you want to hit. The one that looks like a strike to begin with becomes a ball. Everybody knows that. But again, at the end of the day, we just have to do a better job of getting into better counts where we see pitches we can handle.
With your bullpen today, all hands on deck, you just use whoever you have to when you have to win the ball game, right?
Absolutely. You just do whatever you can to do that. Chappie's really rested. Montgomery's the guy who's been pitching a lot. I'm a little concerned there. Rondon, Stropey should be good today. Edwards is really good today.
Montgomery!
But honestly, it's about Johnny Lester. If John has his typical night, we'll be on that airplane. So it really comes down, I'm not trying to lay it all on him, but him pitching like he can is our
Who
best
takes
guy.
an airplane to Cleveland? Just drive.
Good luck, Skipper.
Gracias, Ozzy. I like it.
I called him Skipper.
Ron Coomer with a couple of doozies in there as saying, hey, if you're Miska, this was good stuff here from Ron Coomer, as he said, if your backs are going to be up against the wall, it may as well be in the World Series. I mean, that's a pretty good place to have your back up against the wall. I mean, we all wish it was the other way around, but hey, man, the Cubs are in the World Series. It's Game 5 here tonight at Wrigley Field. Cubs and the Indians, and yes, the Indians are up 3-1 by way of last night's 7-2 win over the Chicago Cubs, featuring Corey Kluber, who the Cubs got to in a little bit better shape last night, but they did allow Kluber to settle down last night. As we look up on the big board right now, the Cubs are being introduced. Chris Bryant is up there right now after Dexter Fowler was just introduced. We'll go through that starting lineup here in just a minute. Right now, though, it's time for Who's Hot and Who's Cold, sponsored by Plumbers911Chicago.com for emergency licensed and affordable plumbing service 24/7. Plumbers911Chicago.com. Who's Hot? Well, we saw it last night from Jason Kipnis, who the Cubs have quelled for the most part in the series, but a 3-hit night for him last night, including that put-away 3-run homer against Travis Wood in the 7th inning last night. It was cold. Well, you know the Cubs off.
That guy's from Northbrook, Illinois, by the way. The guy that had that 3-run homer grew up in Northbrook Little League.
He's being introduced right now. And we do go through the starting lineup for you right now.
Kipnis.
Dexter Fowler is leading off for the Cubs and playing center field, while it is Chris Bryant batting second and playing third. Anthony Rizzo, the number 3 hitter and the first baseman for the Cubs. Ben Zobrist hitting cleanup and playing left field. Addison Russell is the number 5 hitter and the shortstop. Jason Hayward is starting tonight in right field and batting 6th. While Javier Baez in the number 7 hole tonight and playing second base. David Ross is the catcher for the starting pitcher, John Lester, tonight. As for the Cleveland Indians tonight, Rajay Davis leading off and playing center field. Jason Kipnis, the number 2 hitter and the starting second baseman. Francisco Lindor is the shortstop and the number 3 hitter. Mike Napoli is the cleanup hitter for the Cleveland Indians tonight and playing first base. Carlos Santana in left field and Jose Ramirez, the third baseman. Brandon Geyer is the right fielder. Roberto Perez, the catcher, number 8 hitter, while it's Trevor Bauer pitching for the Cleveland Indians tonight, a pitcher whom the Cubs were able to get to in Game 2, that Cubs 5-1 victory, which evened the series up 1-1. That seemed like so long ago. Our pitching matchups, while we're on them, brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. It is Johnny Lester starting for the Cubs tonight. A 1.69 earned run average in the 2016 playoffs for him, with 21 strikeouts and 5 walks. Trevor Bauer Again, starting for the Cleveland Indians in 3 postseason starts this year, he is without a win. He is 0-1 officially with an ERA that reads exactly 5 and has not gone deeper than the 5th inning. The key to what the Cubs did to Trevor Bauer last time is that they made him throw a whole lot of pitches in a short amount of time. It forced that game to, in essence, for Terry Francona to be a bullpen game as he went through the whole arsenal. That at least 6 guys coming out of the pen after Trevor Bauer. That would be real good things for the Cubs tonight. We talked about it with Ron Coomer a little bit earlier, and the fact that there may be a little bit of an anger from the Cubs side, a good anger, a motivated team coming out on the field tonight. Not that they're not normally motivated, but they may have felt a little bit embarrassed by some of the things that went down last night. And, you know, Cubs aren't going down like that, that's for sure. And it doesn't feel like they're a team that should be eliminated from the World Series in 5 games. But they got to get it done tonight to give themselves a chance in Cleveland. Here's the way it would go down if the Cubs get that victory tonight. A day off tomorrow in the World Series. And then it would be Cubs and Indians resuming on Tuesday in Cleveland. And then Wednesday would be Game 7. So Tuesday and Wednesday, both in Cleveland. This would be, no matter what happens, the final game of the year at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. So we'll all kind of soak it in tonight here in Game 5 of the World Series. More pregame on the way, including Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer. We'll bring them in shortly as we get ready for the call of the Cubs and the Indians on Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score.
Must-listen coverage of the Cubs in the World Series.
That was radio coverage. 670 Chicago radio coverage of the Cubs.